right, so I was on with Joe LaRocca this morning, and we were talking about Pink Floyd's The Wall from 1982, and at some point in the video, we got into top 10 lists and how maybe, it's just not really our thing. There's a lot of reasons why, but whatever. So somehow that inspired me to, in fact, make a top 10 video. It's been a while. I do have a couple on this channel. This one, however, may hold up. I'm going to do a top 10 daily review videos. And if you're not familiar, if you're watching this, you're like, what the hell are you talking about? It's Joe LaRocca's Daily Review. It's a YouTube channel. I have some links down in the description you can check out. Then I wasn't sure, like, how should I describe, like, why these are in my top 10 up front here? Or should I just go through and as I'm going through the 10 movies, say exactly how and why this ended up on the list? Or maybe I'll do a little bit of both. It's like all 10 movies I definitely liked. Some of them maybe I didn't like before, and after watching his review, it just like got me to flip and go check it out. Some maybe I had never heard of that I checked out his review, then liked the movie, or other movies that I really liked and then saw his review and, kind of jived with his opinion, maybe even learned a thing or two that I didn't know. And I guess we'll go in reverse order. We'll start with number 10, Falling Down. The reason this one's on the list, this was the live video where I discovered his channel. I think I saw like a thumbnail or a picture on Instagram or something. I was like, oh, he's got a YouTube channel. Cool, check it out. And then right then he was live and he was talking about Falling Down, which was a pretty intense movie. I hadn't seen that in forever. Still haven't went back and watched it. I don't know how much it holds up in 2021. But back then it was just really intense and kind of freaked me out. I don't know. I hadn't seen a whole lot of movies like that. Michael Douglas was really good in it. So good review, good movie. Then boom, after that, Moneyball. Joe's not a big sports guy, so it was cool to hear his take on Moneyball. Again, this was one of the movies where there was like, oh yeah, I guess I had, maybe some insight that maybe I hadn't picked up as a sports fan. So that's Moneyball at number 9. Again, great movie if you haven't seen it. Check out. And also I would say maybe watch the review first and then the movie. So, check out his review of Moneyball, then find Moneyball and watch it. I think it's on HBO Max right now. Grizzly Man, one of my favorite all-time documentaries. He had a good take on Grizzly Man. That's number 8. Then we got then we got back-to-back new movies. Movies that I probably would not have watched. They just spit across the room. One Night in Miami is a new movie that just come out, and he does a review. I was checking it out. I was like, all right, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali. I'll check that out. Done by Regina King. I was like, Regina King, who is that? How do I know that name? And I was like, oh, wow, I know her as like the woman from Boys in the Hood way back. Well, she's like making movies now. This was actually really good, not just if you're a Jim Brown or Muhammad Ali fan. And then number 6, Birds of Prey, same thing. I saw Suicide Squad, and I thought it was horrible. There's no way I was going to watch Birds of Prey. But then after watching his review, it motivated me to check the movie out, and I actually liked it. I've watched it 2 or 3 times since then. And then Logans Run. This was a movie I don't think I had ever heard of. I definitely was not on my radar in 2020. So I watched his review of Logan's Run. Definitely some things in there that made me curious about the movie. I go and I check it out. It was like one of the last sci-fi movies made right before Star Wars. Just kind of changed everything. And then when you watch Logan's Run, it's on HBO Max as well, I believe. It's another great thing. A lot of the movies he does, they're either on Netflix, Prime, or Max, it seems like. And then Jackass the Movie. This one made it on the list at number 4 here because I'm a huge Jackass fan. And Joe's a guy, he's made films, he's studied films. A lot of those guys, kind of have their thumb and their nose in the air a little bit at a movie like Jackass. They're just a little bit too cool for Jackass. They don't want to give it any credit, any thumbs up, any props, anything, But not the case with Joe. He clearly liked Jackass, was able, even as a snooty film man, he was able to appreciate Jackass for what it is, and talks about several comedies throughout his channel, but I was really pumped. That's when I knew for sure. I was like, all right, I dig this guy, man. He's like a film guy, but he's not just going to take a crap on Jackass because he thinks he's too good for it or something. And then Rocky, kind of the same thing. Now I think everybody loves Rocky. But over the years, it seemed like maybe people, they don't want to give Stallone the credit. He's kind of a joke as an actor. He's done a bunch of joke movies. But there's no denying Rocky, man. I mean, one of my all-time favorite movies. And the more I watch it, throughout the years as a teen, probably pre-teens, and then in my teens, and then in my 20s, 30s, it's just like, it just keeps getting better. It's outstanding. And then Mad Max Fury Road was one of the movies that always on my radar. I liked old Mad Max and everything, and had never checked this one out. Finally, after watching his review, watched it twice, and everything he says in his review pretty much nails that one. One of his best reviews. Maybe where, oh, that's a damn good movie. Say, maybe his review might have actually hyped up the movie, and he did such a good job. It was like, yeah, all right, this is good, but, you know. And then number one on the list, one of my all-time favorite movies, Pulp Fiction. You've probably seen it. Maybe you've seen it. I don't know. Came out in 1994 at John Travolta guy. Jules was also in it. Well, anyways, I love Pulp Fiction. Had seen it a bunch of times. Was glad to see it on his channel. And even pointed out a thing or two about the movie that I was like, oh, yeah, it kind of went over my head. So that's what's cool about this. I know everybody likes movies. Anybody can talk, review a movie or give their thoughts on a movie. But coming from a dude who's actually made film, edited films, studied films, he's got pretty cool takes on everything. And he's not some snooty, annoying, pompous jerk that you just want to smack. So that's a good thing. All right, so you're doing that. You got that going for you, Joe, if you're watching this video. Nobody wants to smack you after watching your reviews, so that's a positive. Definitely have had a video or two where people not only wanted to smack me, wanted to just like punch me in the face repeatedly. So, you got that going for you. All right, and then some others that I watched, like Gosta, I believe that was an HBO Max show, maybe from HBO Europe, that was really good. Learned about that from his channel and then burned through it. It's just one season. The Fan was a movie that I had forgotten about and probably kind of thought that was crap. Between Me and My Mind, the Trey movie. He had a pretty good take on that. And then the Tiger Woods, the HBO Max documentary on Tiger. That was really good. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker. That was another one he did recently. That was awesome. So, all right, we've gone long enough. Boom, a fresh top 10 video. My old F Zappa 20 top 10 videos, like Fish shows and Frank Zappa albums, fusion bands. Yeah, man, I watch them now. I'm like, I don't even like that album. How'd that get in my top 10? So I don't know, these top 10s. And it's like, it feels a little desperate at times. All right, guys, boom. Thanks for watching. Links below. Check it out for sure.